Not Wendy Child. Not Professor Dr. 4-degree having Wendy Osefo.
Well, detectives in Carroll County say reality star Wendy Osefo concocted a story so far from reality that she's now facing a string of felony fraud charges. At her home in Finksburg today, there was no sign of the housewife, but her neighborhood was buzzing with the news as police accused Wendy Osefo of being a fraud.
The fall of Dr. Wendy, from reality star to federal scandal. It started like any other gossip headline, one of those stories people scroll past, shake their heads at, and move on. But this time, the internet stopped. Because no one, and I mean no one, expected her to be the one caught up in something like this. Dr. Wendy O, the woman who stood tall on every Real Housewives reunion stage, chin high, confidence unshaken, bragging about her degrees and polished life, suddenly had a mug shot all over the internet. It didn't seem real at first. People thought it was edited, maybe a prank. But within hours, major outlets confirmed it. Wendy and her husband, Edward Happy Eddie O, had been arrested. Not for something minor. Not for some harmless misunderstanding. 16 charges. 7 of them felonies. The words insurance fraud and false statements were now attached to the woman who built her brand on discipline, education, and class. The reaction was instant. Fans were shocked, enemies were grinning, and one name started trending right beside Wendy's: Keiarna Stewart. If anyone had been waiting for this fall from grace, it was Keiarna. For months, Keiarna had hinted that Wendy wasn't the person she pretended to be, that the fancy talk and the "for degrees" slogan were just a shiny cover for something darker. And when the mugshots dropped, Keiarna didn't need to say much. She simply posted one word on social media: karma. But before the world could decide whether this was justice or jealousy, the details started pouring out, and they were messier than anyone imagined. The perfect life begins to crack. To the public, Wendy and Eddie were the image of success. She was the accomplished professor, the commentator, the woman who always reminded her castmates that she worked for everything she had. Eddie, the supportive husband with a gentle smile, stood proudly beside her. Their home looked picture perfect, their family life stable. But behind that picture frame, something was clearly breaking. The story began in April the previous year. Wendy and Eddie had just come back from a tropical vacation in Jamaica, sun-kissed, relaxed, posting photos that made everyone jealous. Then, almost immediately after returning, they claimed their home had been broken into. According to them, the burglars made off with designer handbags, luxury jewelry, and other high-end belongings worth nearly $500,000. They filed police reports. They submitted insurance claims. They even described the chaos of walking into their supposedly ransacked bedroom. At first, everyone believed them who wouldn't. They were respected public figures. But as the investigation began, the cracks started to show. When officers...
Literally, she just messaged me a couple days ago. You know, she's one of the very only, like the only ones who is like, you know, I'm so proud. You know, well, what she said was, God has you covered. Right? So this is, I need a second because
I get it.
I opened my phone. I had no idea what was even going on. And I'm like, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm very, very shocked because I felt Miss 4 Degrees had it together. Okay? I thought she had it together. I mean, isn't Eddie an attorney? For heaven's sakes, like what?
Arrived at the home, they found something strange. Only one bedroom looked disturbed. Drawers were open, a few items tossed around, but the rest of the house was spotless. Too clean, too perfect for a real break-in. Investigators noticed another detail. The window Wendy and Eddie claimed the burglars had used to escape was spotless. To climb out, someone would have needed to step on the toilet beneath it, yet the lid had no footprints, no dust, no trace. It looked untouched. Then came the biggest red flag. The O family had both an ADT alarm system and a Ring camera. Both had been active during their trip. Yet, the entire time they were away, there was no motion detected inside the house. No strange activity, no forced entry. The only movements recorded were deliveries, packages Wendy and Eddie had monitored remotely. Slowly, the story they told started to crumble. The investigation turns. Detectives began cross-checking the list of stolen items with purchase records. That's when the real truth began to surface. Some of the high-priced designer goods Wendy claimed were stolen had been returned to stores years earlier for full refunds. Some as far back as 2018. Others were discovered to still exist, not in some pawn shop or with a mysterious thief, but inside Wendy's own house. The shock hit the internet like a wave when police confirmed that 15 of the stolen
I thought that in April, your home was broken into or something. Was this during filming that this happened?
I think it was right before.
Okay.
Like, literally before camp went up. It happened because my family was away on spring break. It was our spring break trip with the kiddos. And I was just so heartbroken. Like, I think a few of my first initial scenes, I'm just a little bit uneasy because we had just been violated, so to speak. It was the worst thing. It's so unexpected, especially since from my vantage point and from the investigators' vantage point, it was targeted, you know?
Really?
Yeah, because I've lived in this neighborhood for, a long time, but since the neighborhood has been in inception for over 20 years, there has been no burglary.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Items were recovered during a search of their home. Rings, handbags, watches, all there, neatly stored away. And speaking of rings, social media detectives were quick to notice something else. In one interview Wendy gave after the alleged burglary, she was seen wearing the same diamond ring she had reported stolen. The screenshots went viral instantly. Every frame of that interview became evidence in the court of public opinion. To make matters worse, police reports hinted that financial stress might have been the motive. Despite her polished image, Wendy was allegedly carrying heavy debts. Investigators suspected she and Eddie had orchestrated the false claim to collect the $450,000 insurance payout. It was a shocking theory, the professor with 4 degrees, risking everything for money. The arrest. On Thursday, October 9th, 2025, everything came crashing down. Federal agents arrived at their Maryland home early in the morning. By noon, both Wendy and Eddie were in custody. When their mugshots hit the internet, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were both smiling, wide, almost carefree smiles, wearing matching gray t-shirts. The contrast between the seriousness of the charges and their calm expressions only made the photos go viral faster. Some said they looked arrogant. Others thought it was nervous laughter, a mask for embarrassment. Whatever the reason, those pictures